So hello everyone, my name is Becky with Scotland Way Marketing, and today we are going to be doing our command overview. So I'm going to be going through command so that we will giving you an overview of the different functions of command and the different settings and things like that. So if you are here with me live, you can drop any questions you have as we go through in the chat, and I'll do my best to get those answered in real time. Usually for the sake of time, I do have to save those questions for the end unless it's a quick answer while we're already there. So if I don't answer your question right away, promise I'm not ignoring you. I will circle back and go through the chat at the end to make sure I get all of those questions answered. So if you have questions, please drop them in the chat as we go through, and I will definitely get those answered. If you are watching this back on recording, you can reach out to us with any questions via email. That email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. I'm going to drop that email in the chat here for everyone here with me live as well as a link to our YouTube channel. Today's class will be on our YouTube channel within about 24 hours. We generally aim for end of day, but sometimes it might be 24 hours. But it'll definitely be up then. When you are on our YouTube channel, I do want to point out a couple things here really quickly. So on our YouTube channel, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see this section that says videos. This is going to have our most recent, I believe it's 12 videos. So we recommend checking those out. If you're looking for a specific video, you can go to the videos tab, and that's going to show you the most recent videos up at the top. We always recommend looking for those most recent videos just because things are always changing both in command and with the services we offer here at Scott Leroy Marketing. So the most recent videos are going to have the most up-to-date information, and things might look a little different. It can get a little confusing. So for example, if you're searching, we'll search for command overview. And after the playlist, the one that pops up first is from 2 years ago and 1 year ago. And we have to scroll down a ways before we get one. It should be 13 days ago or something like that. So you have to scroll a bit before you find it. So like 3 months ago is more recent, but anyway. Wow, it's still not showing up. So we just recommend pay attention to those dates when you're scrolling through, because they don't always populate in order. Best way to find those is going to be the videos tab, and you can scroll down through those. It'll have all of our videos. Um, but just something to keep in mind there when you're looking at our YouTube channel. So without further ado, we're going to head over to command, which is agent.kw.com. And here is where we're going to log in. Your sign-in screen should look like this. It's important to note the username is not case sensitive, but the password is. So when you're entering this in, this can be all caps, it can be all lowercase, it does not matter. Password is going to be case sensitive. If you are like double clicking to copy and paste a password from somewhere else, you just want to make sure that it doesn't include any spaces before or after. The password is that's going to give you an incorrect password error, as well as make sure if you're copying and pasting it from somewhere else that you grab the whole thing, including any special characters. If you're not sure, you can always click this icon right here, and it'll allow you to view your password. Just make sure everything's in there correctly. If you forgot your password, you can click Forgot Password right here. It's going to ask you to enter your username, and then it's going to send a code to your recovery email that's on file. And I'm going to show you where you can find that recovery email once you are in your command account. If you are locked out of your account because you cannot get access to the recovery email, you can email us, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can help take a look at that for you. Or you can also reach out to your Market Center staff as they'll be able to update that email on their back end. So two options there, either work. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sign in right here. And usually, I already did it this morning, but usually when you are signing in, you may also get a recovery email or a verification code to your recovery email. And it'll be the same recovery email you have on file. Those recovery emails are generally going to be a personal non-KW email. You can't enter a KW email anymore. So if you've updated it, Anytime recently, then it's going to be a non-KW email. And it should be personal. It should be unique to you. And I'll show you where we can edit that in just a minute. So once we sign in here, and everyone's screen can look a little bit different, the dashboard is semi-customizable. So if we click this pencil right here with the customize button, we can choose the widgets that show, and we can drag and drop those around if we'd like. So we can move maybe our tasks we want at the top and our goals up a little higher as well. We can apply that. And we're going to see those changes automatically go into effect through here. It looks like the leads widget is temporarily unavailable. It might be a small glitch in command right now. Deletes never contacted, recently active, birthdays, and anniversaries. Those four are always going to stay the same. Those ones are not going to change. They can't be moved. So you'll always see those four right there. We're going to start off with making our way across the top, and then we'll work our way down the side. Um, so the first thing you'll see is command, which is where we currently are. Next, we're going to look at connect. And in Connect, this is going to be a learning resource library for you. So you can see any videos and articles. They have a bunch of courses in here as well. If you go to My Learning right here, it's going to show you anything that you have bookmarked. Under Continue Learning, that'll be any videos you've started watching, for example, and you maybe not even bookmarked them, but just videos you started watching that you can continue. Completed learning are going to be anything that you started and finished that video, and it's going to tell you when you completed it. Under Browse All, you're going to be able to go through a bunch of different topics through here. So they have sections, KW University courses. If you're in leadership, you'll see this one with a red banner up top for the Leadership Hub. Working with buyers, lead generation, command resources here. Welcome new associates. I do want to point this out actually while we're right here. The welcome new associates. Under new associate essentials, that's actually where you're going to find your market center DBA logos and the KW logos. So you can either search right here, new associate essentials under the browse all, or you can just click right here. While you're in here, you're going to see logos and branding. That's what we're going to want to click on. There we go. Let it load here. And then there's a couple things in here. So the KW identity and style guide, that's really going to be ensuring that you have brand compliance with Keller Williams. So this has some guidelines for including the Keller Williams color palette and things like that. So if you're looking for the KW red color code, hex code, I believe it's called, that's in this identity and style guide. The ownership statement, the onboarding guide, primary logo collection. This is going to be the Keller Williams primary logos. So it's just going to be Keller Williams. It's not going to be your Market Center logos. If you scroll down a little further, you're going to see the Market Center logos right here, and you'll just search for your Market Center name or number. So if you go search the number, if you know the number, you can scroll through and grab that right there, and it's going to update here. You'll see a preview of your logo, and then you'll be able to download the logo directly right here. That's going to download a zip file that has a bunch of different file formats and some color variations, sometimes like the red and gray and black, or the red with white writing, things like that. So you'll see those variations in that zip file. Down below, you'll see the Keller Williams logo variations. So you'll see the primary logos again, and you get a preview of what each of them look like. So you can see primary logos are just the red KW with Keller Williams. Keller Williams, you can have the primary logo with realty, real estate, the informal logos. So there's a bunch of options through there, so you can definitely go check those out if you're looking for those logos. I'm going to go back over to Connect. And under Connect as well, you can see the Events tab on the left-hand side. It's going to be the calendar under the graduation cap. So if you go to Events, this is going to have an events calendar. And it can be sorted by market center. So if you're a part of multiple market centers, you can filter by which market center you want to see the events for. Same with regions or all KW regions or KWRI events. You can filter by events you can manage, the event type, price, date, format, audience. If you are on the events tab and you are not seeing any events, I get that question fairly frequently. No need to worry about that. Your market center might not use this. Not all market centers do. So we're part of a bunch of different market centers here. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of different events here and a lot of market centers on the right-hand side. But if you're not seeing anything here, it's not necessarily something to be concerned about. You can ask your market center staff if they have an events calendar that they can share with you. If you're not seeing anything here, odds are they use a different calendar. We're going to go back to our command home just so we're back in a familiar place. Next on my screen, you're going to see Command MC. Most of you likely will not have access to Command MC. That is for Market Center staff. So that is going to be Market Center staff access to back end of command. So we're not going to go into Command MC today just because most of you will not likely need that. If you are with Market Center staff and you have any questions about anything in Command MC, you can always feel free to reach out to us via email. Again, that email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. And we're happy to jump in and help out with that. Next thing you'll see along the top is going to be KWIQ with the stars next to it. This is going to be KW's AI assistant within command, so they have different prompts you can ask it. So you can ask it any questions about real estate in general or about command. You can type in that question here. Again, it is AI, so you want to review it for accuracy as usual with AI. But that is a helpful resource for you if you just have a question and just need a quick answer. Next, you're going to see this storefront logo right here. That is the KW Marketplace. Give it a second to load here. So Command was built by agents for agents, and with that, KW really wanted Command to be a place where you can integrate all of your third-party platforms to be able to have it all integrated into Command, so you have everything in the same place. And with that, they created KW Marketplace, and so you can go in and you can purchase integrations and things like that to make sure you can have everything integrating with Command. A really popular one in the marketplace is Twilio. Twilio is a texting service, and a lot of agents like to use it. It does integrate very well with Command, so you can send out texts and things like that through Command. I'm going to close that out. Next, you're going to see this notification bell, and we clearly have a bunch of unread notifications here. But you can go through and you can see all of your notifications. You can filter by the applet that the notification came from. So maybe campaigns, and you'll see right there. You'll see that it was scheduled, and you'll see the scheduled time and delivery status and things like that. So you can go view the campaign directly through here. But yeah, so you'll be able to view those. We'll go back to all notifications. You can mark all of them as read. You can go in and you can individually mark them as read or manage your notification settings. If you click this settings cogwheel up here, you're going to be able to go to your notification settings as well. And this one could look a little different depending on what applets you have access to. So if you are on a team and you have some team permissions and things like that, you may see different applets that you're able to adjust the notification settings on. If you're in Market Center staff, you'll see more options. But if you're not in either of those, you might see fewer options than I'm currently seeing on my screen. So yours can look a little different here. But what you'll do is you'll go into whatever applet you're looking to change the settings on. And from there, you can choose whether you want to see those notifications in-app on your computer, which is going to be that notification bell, mobile in-app, which is going to be the notification bell on the mobile app, or a mobile push notification. Both of these are going to be if you have the Command app installed on your phone, then you can get the notifications. Push notifications are going to send notifications to your phone. So you have some options through there. You can go through and pick the ones you'd like to see. There's a few that are locked, which just means that you will have to leave those on within your desktop and out. So yeah, so we're going to go back over to our command home once again. Next thing we want to cover is the drop-down menu under our name. So if you click on that, you're going to see options here. So the first thing you'll see on my side is you'll see we have a team account and a personal account. So if you are on a team, this is where you are going to switch between those two accounts. So if you are looking to do something on your team account, you can switch here or vice versa, depending on what you have set as your default account. Next is my profile, and my profile is going to be more of the back end information, so it's going to be more internal information. This one you'll see your name, profile photo, biography. Um, this really updates for the referrals profile, so if someone's looking for you in referrals in command, then they'll see this information here. And this will show to your Market Center staff. But other than that, it's mostly just going to show internally. This is not actually the profile that's going to show on your website. That's going to be your marketing profile, and we'll circle back to that towards the end because I'm going to show you where it is so we can kind of just keep moving through here. Under real estate license, if you are not seeing your license here, or if you are seeing the incorrect information, for that you'll want to reach out to your Market Center staff because they will need to update that on their end. There are a couple of things that your Market Center staff would need to update in My Profile, but other than the My Profile section, most everything else you'd be able to update on your own side. Um, don't worry that a lot of things I'm going to say at first, there's like 3 or 4 different things I'll mention you need to ask your Market Center staff for. But other than that, most of it is just things you can update on your own. So real estate license, if you're not seeing that in there or you're seeing it incorrectly, feel free to reach out to your Market Center staff and they can get that updated. Under My KW, you're going to see your KW UID, your KW email. You can manage it by clicking this link right here. You'll see your KW start date. If that doesn't look right, you can ask your Market Center staff about that. I don't know that this one can be edited though. So actually the KW start date should be able to be. Login credentials down here. So you'll see your username, which you can edit by clicking this pencil. You'll be able to reset your password. It's going to take you back to the home screen. It's going to sign you out and bring you back to the home screen where you can reset your password. And then you'll see your password recovery email right here. So this is what we were talking about earlier when we were accessing our account. When we talked about both resetting your password, it'll send a code to whatever email you have right here. Or if you are signing in for the first time or on a new device, or every once in a while, they'll have you enter the verification code as well. But that is going to send a code to whatever email you have here. So you can edit it directly through your profile. Again, if you can't access your account because you don't have access to that recovery email, you can ask your Market Center staff. They'll be able to update it on their end. You can also reach out to us via email, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can take a look at updating that for you or copying in your Market Center staff to help out. You'll see your personal information down below. KW Communications email. This email is going to be where all of your official KW communications are sent to from KWRI. This also includes where your contact export link will be sent to. We're going to talk about contact exports in a little bit, but you'll go to this. The link will be sent to this email here. So you'll just want to make sure it's an email you have access to, and you'll receive it there. Left-hand side, you'll see MLS listings under the My Affiliations section. If you are not seeing an MLS here, or you're not seeing even the option that says MLS listings, you'll want to reach out to your Market Center staff because they do need to add your MLS ID on the back end of command for it to show up here. And that generally helps with being able to sync your MLS with command and also helps with updating listings and things like that on your website. Down below, you're going to see all of the market centers that you are a part of. Again, this is a demo account, so we have a bunch of different market centers in here. You'll likely only see 1 or 2 through here. But when you click on the Market Center, if it looks like this and says your role is an unlicensed associate, that means that your license number has not been added into Command correctly. And again, with that, you would need to reach out to your Market Center staff. If your license has been added, this is where you're going to see your cap status. So you'll see graphs for where you're at with your cap, both with company dollar and royalty. So you'll see those two charts right here when your license has been added into Command. We're going to go back to our Command home once again. Next thing you'll see is the settings under the drop-down menu. And right in here, it's going to automatically take you to the application settings. And this is where you're going to connect those applications to Command. So Loop, DocuSign, your Facebook and Instagram for post scheduling, as well as your Twitter or X account through here. Again, you can connect DocuSign here, Google Calendar, or Gmail if you want to sync those interactions and creating those meetings and things like that. Again, Twitter ads aren't being supported anymore. But then your Command email, you'll see that right here. So you'll be able to view the status. For some reason, it's saying temporarily unavailable. I have been seeing this, so it might be a small glitch in Command, but they should be working on getting that updated. But that's where you'll see that you have 5,000 free email sends per month, and you'll be able to view the status there. Twilio, you can connect right here by clicking subscribe in Marketplace. So you'll just click that, and then you can go it'll take you directly to Twilio within Marketplace. On the left-hand side, under General Settings, you'll see the default account. So if you are on a team account, if you have a team account, then you'll see the option to choose which account you are signed into when you log into Command. So it'll be whatever account is your default. You can set it there. Notification preferences. This is going to be the same settings we were talking about when we looked at the settings under the notification bell up here. Command settings, if you click applications, that's going to take you back to that page we were just on. Contacts, you'll be able to view your contact archive, set up lead management, lead sources, custom fields, things like that. Opportunity settings, you can update the settings for the email update, opportunity tags, or the opportunity archive. Under reporting, you'll see activity tracking for your reporting, campaigns, default campaign accounts, and things like that. Smart plans, you'll be able to change those time and date settings. Tasks, you can set the time zone that those tasks will be set for. As well as my logs, you're going to see your import and export logs. So you'll be able to see, for example, you do an import. Once it loads, you'll be able to see if for some reason import failed. It's going to give you a import log, and it'll tell you, why it failed or things like that. Exports, you'll be able to see when they were completed, how many contacts were exported, and things like that. Under Connect settings, you're going to see this button for marketing profile. Command KW recently moved the marketing profile to the website's applet. So we'll circle back to that at the very end of the class. But you can click go to marketing profile. It'll take you there directly. Under global settings, you'll be able to see the language settings and your contacts, default country code. You may see Command MC settings. Again, if you are not Market Center staff, you don't need to worry about those because they are just for Command MC, which is for Market Center staff. Next on the drop-down menu under our name, you're going to see the Command training. That's going to take you to Connect, and it's going to be the training specifically for Command. So you can go take a look at all of those articles and videos they have there. And then you have the option to log out here. If we click this question mark in the top right corner, there are some guided tours that you can take to go through Command. Keller Williams University, that goes to answers.kw.com, and they have a bunch of resources on how to do pretty much anything in Command, so you can go there. Chat with support if you ever need to reach out directly to KW support. via live chat. You can do that right here. It'll bring you to a chat with them, or post an idea right here. So earlier I said Command was built by agents for agents. And in keeping with that, they created ideas.kw.com, which is the Keller Cloud Ideas portal. And so they have a bunch of ideas in here. They allow agents to submit ideas that they'd like to see implemented on Command, and they read through all of them. It's not a guarantee that if you submit an idea that it will be implemented, but they do look at every single one of those. You can go vote on any that are important to you, and that'll tell them, that'll help them prioritize what to implement. The more votes that each idea has, the more likely it is to happen. So it's a great idea to go to the Keller Clouds portal. Again, it's ideas.kw.com. And then that takes us through the top. Now we are going to work our way down the left-hand side. And the first thing is the home, which we are currently under. Next is going to be the contacts applet. If you're ever unsure what each of these applets are, you can click this red square with the white KW in it. It's going to expand that whole menu, and so you'll be able to see each of them individually, and then you can just click that square again to minimize it. So the first one is the contacts applet. And before I go through each of these, I do want to point out that we do have a class for pretty much each of these applets. So we have a class on contacts, smart plans, referrals, opportunities, campaigns. So we have classes for pretty much every one of these applets. So I'm going to be moving pretty fast because we don't have a ton of time left to go through each of these in depth, but I just wanted to point out for some reason, it looks like Command may be having some issues with different things not loading properly here. But that's okay. I'll show you a couple things through here. So the first is we have this search bar right here. You can search by your contact's first name, last name, email, or their address. So if, for example, you remember the street name, but you don't really remember what the client's first or last name was, you can search by the address or their email address or things like that, and you can just search through there. Filters, it's one of my favorite things within Command is they have filters pretty much everywhere, and they're super thorough filters. So you can go through and you can filter by contact tags, by lead source, agent site connection, neighborhoods, if they're recently active, anything like that. So they have a bunch of filters through here. They even have advanced filtering, which allows you to set more advanced filters through there. We have what's called a smart view, and a smart view is basically it's going to be a saved view. So if you maybe filter contacts a specific way, you can save it as a smart view. If you rearrange these to show move these around a bit. Not sure why it's not doing that. It's probably whatever's happening with Command here. But you can choose which columns are shown, and you can drag and drop them around. Maybe you have to drag it here, I guess. They just updated this, so. But yeah, so you can go through and you can make those changes, and then you can save that smart view so that you can view it exactly as it was before. You have these three dots right here where you can check for duplicates in your contacts. You can export all of your own contacts. You can export them as mailing labels, PDF or CSV through here. Again, those are going to send an email to the KW Communications email you have on file, which we looked at a little bit ago. But you'll be able to see those. It's going to send a link. That link expires in 24 hours. You can request a new one if it's expired. But you'll just go in, click the link, and it's going to download the file for you. Under import contacts, you'll be able to download this template, and then you can add your contacts to the template and import them here. You can also import one that's not in a template in that same template format. It can be a little finicky if you're not using the template, just because you do have to go through the column mapping and making sure everything imports correctly in the right fields and things like that. So the template is going to be the best way to do that. It's a little more work up front, but it's more accurate and tends to be less work at the very end. We are happy to help reformat and import your contacts for you if you want to email us. Again, support@scottloraymarketing.com, and we can help get those imported for you so you don't have to sit there and play around with an import for too long. You can also create individual contacts here. So you can go through and you can fill this out. Primary email. I'm actually gonna make that because I think we have a contact with that name already. So you can fill out the primary email, primary phone number, lead sources if you have those. Tags, you can enter as many as you'd like. We'll go through. Additional contact information, so you can fill that out if you'd like as well. The About section, you can put in their legal name, description, birthday, home anniversary, relationship. You can add multiple relationships down here. And under custom, you can have your own custom fields that you create and use those here. Not sure why it's not loading our current custom fields. But once you do all of that, you can create a contact. You should be able to. All right, we're going to keep moving. We do have tip videos that walk you through creating contacts and some of the different things when you can view all of your contacts. We also should be having our database overview this Wednesday at the same time. So if you wanted to check that out, we cover this a little more thoroughly and going through all of this individually. I'm not sure. Looks like a small glitch in command, so I'm just going to skip through that part right now. Next, we have our tasks applet. And this is going, there we go, this one's loading. And through here, you're going to see all of the tasks. This is going to be basically a to-do list. And these can be created both individually, if you create a task, either under the contact or through here. It can be created by an opportunity if you have those task lists. It can also be created by a smart plan. So it can be created by a bunch of different things. You'll see on the right-hand side what it was created by. Under your tasks, you'll see the name of the task and things like that. You'll see if it's linked to a contact or an opportunity. So you'll see those all through here, as well as your due date and things like that. You can go to completed ones if you've marked any off, marked any as complete. You can see that there. And archived, you'll be able to see all of those there as well. Next, we have smart plans, and smart plans are basically a set it and forget it type plan. And that is going to allow you to send out emails to your contacts through command. It'll send out emails. If you have Twilio connected, you can send out text messages and it can create tasks for you. So you can go through, you can create a custom smart plan, or you can use one that's already been created. If you want to look at what's already been created, you can go to the Smart Plans library right here. And in here, you'll see the featured up top, and then you'll see the Keller Williams Smart Plans. They now have 12, they just added 2 more. But you can go through and you can look at each of these. You can add them to send out biweekly neighborhood nurtures in 8x8, quarterly call plan, midterm nurture, long-term birthday. I do want to point out the birthday and the home anniversary smart plans that they have. Those ones are going to be the best options for you if you're looking to actually have it send out on their birthday and their home anniversary, because those will actually take into account the smart dates that are in their contact card, and any others would not be formatted correctly. So the ones created by Keller Williams are going to be formatted correctly to be sent out on the person's actual birthday. Otherwise, you start a smart plan with a contact and it doesn't send on their birthday. So their birthday could be in July and they get a birthday email in January or whenever you set them up on it. And that can lead to some confusion. So we just recommend the Keller Williams birthday and home anniversary specifically if you're looking for those. Moving down, you'll see top rated. What's new? So these are ones that were just published. So you'll be able to go through and see those. If you are looking at any of these, you'll just want to make sure when you're viewing them You'll see the steps right there. You can add the smart plan to your library, and from there, you'll be able to see. You just want to review the smart plan before you send it out. Make sure it has your information, or it at least doesn't have another agent's information in it. If you go to My Smart Plans, then you go through. Let's grab. We'll go with this one right here. Go edit here. But you can go in if you have the email right here. So that one has our newsletter. Let's go down to and adds them to it. But you can go through, you can see the different steps within it. You can preview if you've downloaded it from somewhere else. It's going to show up in your Smart Plans library. You can add contacts to it directly here. You can edit the Smart Plan there, or you can click the three dots, copy it, publish it to the library, or delete it from there. Down under referrals. There we go. In here, you'll see your referral network. So you'll see any contacts that are, or any other agents that are currently in your referral network. So you'll be able to see those through there, pending invites, pending referrals, received or sent referrals through here. Under My Referrals, you'll see those sent and received referrals as well. And on the map, you're going to be able to view the different agents and things like that. So you can zoom in, we'll go through here. I usually wind up zooming in on somewhere that doesn't have a lot of agents, but that works. So through here, if it's under the production view, each of these little dots are going to be where an agent has sold a house in the last 12 months. So you can hover over it. It's going to highlight the agent on the right-hand side in red. So you'll see those there. So if you zoom in further, you'll see. So if you have, an contact that's looking in a specific neighborhood, if you zoom in, you'll be able to see, agents that have sold houses in that neighborhood. And that may help you make a better decision on who you want to refer your contacts to. If you're looking under market centers, you'll be able to see all of the agents in that market center. So you'll see the market center and you'll see all of the agents appear right through here. So you can go through you can search through there. This one is not going to be dependent necessarily on production, whereas the production view is going to show only agents that have had any closings in the past 12 months. Under My Network, you'll be able to see any agents that are in your network and you'll see their location. And under Referral Patterns, you're going to see patterns for where people are largely moving to, starting in whatever you set as your center location here. So you can change that location if you'd like, but you'll be able to see where they're moving from and moving to. Generally, a lot of the time it's going to be, the first one is going to be from that city to that city, but then you'll be able to see some other places in Texas, Illinois, Orlando, more Texas, Atlanta, Raleigh, Charlotte. So you'll be able to go through and you'll see where a lot of people are moving from, where they're moving to. You can switch to received referrals and you'll see those where they're coming from for the most part. And that's just going to help you find maybe where you need to have referral partners. So maybe you want to start looking in like over here, Tucson, Arizona, or things like that. So you can look down this list and that'll give you a good idea of maybe where you want to have referral partners so that you can get and send referrals through here. My network, you're going to see all of the agents that are in your network. We saw the same thing on our dashboard over here. So same thing, basically. Opportunities are going to be our transactions that we have through command. So this is going to be where you upload documents for your Market Center for compliance approval. So you can upload those documents directly through here. Or if you are looking to submit your commission request so your Market Center can pay you out, things like that, you'll be able to do all of that through the Opportunities applet. And from here, you're going to see all of the different pipelines here. So you have your listings pipeline, buyers, leases, and you get this nice graphic here. So you can see how many opportunities you have in each stage of each type of pipeline. So you'll see where you have it. The volume is going to be the volume of the listing, or in this case, listing that you have. So you'll be able to see all of that through there. You'll see the average time it's spent in that phase. On the right-hand side, under GCI, you're going to see potential income and you're going to see probable income. Potential income is going to be the total commission from all of the opportunities in this pipeline. And so that is what you could make if every single one of those opportunities closed at the price that you currently have in there. Probable income is a little different. That's going to be based off of where the opportunity is in this pipeline. So as the opportunity moves through the pipeline, from cultivate to appointment to active to under contract, that number is going to go up the further along it is. It's based off the probability percentage that's set, which can be changed, but that's automatically set for each of these pipelines. So you'll be able to see that probable income go up as opportunities move through. Another thing I want to point out is this closed phase right here. That resets every month. So it'll reset generally the first couple days of the month, whenever your market center does their month-end close or transmittal, whichever your market center calls it. You're going to see that number reset to 0. So these pipelines are for what you currently have active, and then it'll show that month's closed, but that resets every month. So don't worry if you're not seeing your opportunities there. You can always go to the All Opportunities tab right here and see those opportunities again. But if you scroll down, you'll see a ratio graph as well, and you can see your averages here. So listings, buyers, leases, you'll see how many opportunities you have of those, and you kind of get a percentage of how many opportunities you have of each type. So you'll see a breakdown down below as well. And then the activity bar right here, you'll see what your average is for opportunities, number of opportunities across the year through there. If you have any closing this month, you'll see it down here as well. Next, you have campaigns. And this is where you can create paid ad campaigns, email campaigns, direct mail campaigns, which would be like postcards or social post campaigns. So you can go through and you can find your paid ad campaigns. So you can see what you have active here. You can link your paid ad accounts right here. So your Instagram and your Facebook, you can link through here. Email campaigns, if you want to send a one-off email campaign to an email list, you can send that through here. Direct mail, again, that's going to be postcards, so you can send those out here. You can set up your targeting, so you can target a specific area. And then social post campaigns, you can create and schedule social posts through here. Next, you're going to see the reports applet, and this is going to have a bunch of options for reports in here. If you've been with KW for a while, you probably know that they used to have the reports in my KW, and they just moved them over to Command. So you'll be able to see all of those through here. You'll have reports such as email lists or your email reports, and that's going to show you the metrics for emails you've sent or received. So you'll see all of those through there. There's a bunch of different reports you can view. Next, you'll see designs, and this is where we can create and edit different designs for social posts or your postcards if you want to create it. It's going to be sort of similar to Canva, which you do also have access to a free premium Canva account through KW. So this is going to be different than Canva, but it's fairly similar. And you can go in, you can create designs, and then you can directly link those or add those to your email campaigns or smart plans or sending out your social post campaigns or things like that. Moving down, you have your listings applet. So if you have your MLS synced, you're going to see a bunch of listings through here. You should see your active listings, but you'll also be able to see any Keller exclusive listings. So maybe you've created an internal listing and you can create that here to share with only KW agents or make it just internal, only visible to you. So you have options through there. And then finally, you have the websites applet. And in here, you're going to be able to do a couple different things. So you can manage your website right here. So this is going to bring you to this screen where you can add any additional pages that you have active. You can add content, so you can create a blog post here, or you can do a design studio and you can change the font and default colors. But if you go expert mode right here, it's going to, um, in a minute, there you go. You'll see your export editor through here, so you can go in and you can edit your pages, create custom pages, edit your existing pages and things like that. So you can do all of that through there. If you go here, here you'll be able to launch your website, and that's just going to open your existing website. You can copy your website URL right here. KW Answers, again, which is going to bring you to answers.kw.com. This will probably link you directly to their website. It does. So you'll be able to go view their articles on making changes to your website and things like that. And then the settings button right here, if you go to manage settings, this is going to be your marketing profile. So this is going to be the information that displays on your website, on campaigns you create, and things like that. This is going to be that external information that people are seeing. So anything with a red asterisk is going to be a required field. So you'll want to make sure all of those are filled out, your market center information. As you make edits, you'll want to save each page just because they're not all interconnected there. Under the photo here, it is a required field, and the recommended size is 360 by 360 pixels. I always recommend you stick with that recommended size, even if you have to resize your image. You can do that and make it 360 by 360, just so that it doesn't stretch it funny, cut off your head, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of a headshot. So you'll want to make sure it fits that size. Team logo, again, is also 360 by 360 recommended. Team logo is not a required field. We recommend it just because we find that it can cause a broken image in email campaigns and things like that. If you don't have a team logo, we've seen agents use a secondary headshot or just use an informal KW logo or their Market Center logo, or something along those lines through there. Under my details, again, first name, last name are required fields. Agent license number is not a required field, but it is recommended, especially if you are sending out email campaigns and they have a merge tag of your agent license information. Because if it has a merge tag, which is generally going to be in the footer that's pre-created by KW, you will see a merge tag for your license number. And if you don't have one on your profile, it's probably going to fail to send the email campaign because you don't have that in the to fill out the merge tag. So not required, but recommended for sure. Biography is required through there. Preferences, if you want to display color home loans, color covered, or neighborhoods on your agent site. Service areas, you'll be able to set your service areas that display on your website. And if you have any specific compliance requirements, like anything you need to add to a legal footer, for example, Texas has the consumer protection notice and the information about brokerage services. So those, if you need to link those, you can do all of that through there. Social links, if you want your social media linked to your website, you can go in and add those full URLs right there. Referral links, this is where you'll find your app URL. So your KW consumer app link right here. You can go in and you can copy it and paste it right there. Forced registration, if you want to set the number of properties visitors to your site are able to view before they're required to register or sign in, you can make those changes through here, make it unrestricted, make it so they can only view 10 properties, 2 properties, or no properties before they have to register or sign in. And then under my subdomain, this is where you'll be able to claim or update your KW agent site subdomain. So you can go in and make changes to that and claim it here. You can also deactivate your site right here. Strongly recommend you don't do that unless you are absolutely sure, just because Once you deactivate it, you can't get any custom pages that you've created back or anything like that. So we just strongly recommend that you be absolutely certain before you do deactivate that site. And that is all I have. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this recording and then we'll get to these questions in the chat. So if you have other questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat and I'm going to go ahead and get through those. If you're not sticking around for questions, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Yeah.